Hello loves! Today I'm going to be giving you a rundown of the hefty stack that is my December TBR. The first book I want to read for December is Altogether Dead by Charlaine Harris. This is the next book I have to read in the Sookie Stackhouse series. I finished Definitely Dead in November, and in that book they introduced a new character who I'm not quite sure I like, and I'm interested to see where they go with that character's story. So this is one of the 3 series I'm currently trying to focus on finishing, so this will be the next one in the series that I read. The second book on my December TBR is Ruddy Gore by Carrie Greenwood. This is another series that I'm currently working through. It is about a woman who lives in Australia who recently came into quite a bit of wealth, and in her spare time she solves mysteries. This is the 6th book in the series, and I'm looking forward to seeing more about Phryne's adventures. Next on my TBR for December is Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Bolin. This was nominated for the 2023 Evergreen Awards, which I was trying to read before they announced the winner. Unfortunately, this had a very long wait list at my library, so it took about 6 months for me to finally get it. So in this, it is a suspense novel and love story about a family that moves to a new town to try and get a start over, and then one of the family members ends up embroiled in a crime, and I don't know much more about that. I try to go in blind with thrillers and suspense novels so that I don't try and predict the plot before I've even started. Because I had to wait so long for this, I am really interested to see what the hype is, why so many people decided to read this, and whether that wait is going to be worth it. And the rest of my TBR for December is going to be 2023 releases. I wanted to prioritize books that were released in 2023 for the last month to try and get myself caught up before all of those great 2024 releases come out. The first 2023 release on my December TBR is I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself by Marissa Crane. This is a debut in the science fiction category, and it was nominated for a Goodreads Choice Award. The plot of this one is that law enforcement in the future, when you have done something wrong, you get an additional shadow. So anyone who has more than one shadow is publicly shamed, and I'm interested to see what impact that has on the lives of those who are considered shadesters, the underprivileged who have maybe been born into a life in the shadows. The next book on my list is Pinata by Leopoldo Gout? Not sure. This is a horror book about a family who goes to Mexico to work on a job, and while there, they unearth some ancient artifacts, and something from those artifacts latches onto them and follows them back to New York. And I honestly picked this up because the cover is stunning, and I am really looking forward to see if the contents of the book can live up to the gorgeousness that is this cover. And next we have Bookshops Bonedust by Travis Baldree. This is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which I also read this year and really did enjoy. This series is cozy fantasy. In the first one, our main character Viv opens up a coffee shop in a fantasy town, and in this one she is injured and has to work in a bookshop while she is recovering. And these are just really great atmosphere in terms of a fantasy world, but where the stakes are not high. There's not all these political machinations of 17 different nation states you have to keep track of. They're just really cozy and a great read for winter with some hot chocolate. Staying in the fantasy genre is Witch King by Martha Wells. In this, there is a wizard who goes into a deep sleep, and when he awakens, someone is trying to harvest his magic. He is trying to figure out why he went dormant for so long, who are these people trying to steal his magic, etc. I have really been enjoying the Murderbot series by Martha Wells, which is science fiction, so I'm interested to see what Martha Wells can do in the fantasy genre. The next book on my list is Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. This is a novel about a string of disappearances in a small town, and the police are investigating, but there is some secret hatred running through the town. This is a horror, obviously, as Eric LaRocca is known for, but is a full-length novel rather than being a series of short stories, which is what I have previously read from Eric LaRocca. So I am interested to see how he does with writing a fully fleshed out, full-length story. This actually has very low ratings on Goodreads, so I am interested to see if it is actually as bad as the ratings seem to be. I think this is actually the lowest rated book on my TBR, so we'll see how that goes. Next, we have 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Bazterrica. This is a short story collection by the same author who wrote Tender is the Flesh, which I also read earlier this year and really enjoyed. So I am interested to see where the author can go with some different concepts, just because Tender is the Flesh is such a strong concept. And the last book on my December TBR is No Coincidence. This is a novel in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. This is a novel about a team who is assembled to complete a heist, but each member of the group has been blackmailed into participating. So I am interested to see more from the Cyberpunk 2077 universe and the goings on in Night City. So that completes the rundown of my very tall TBR stack for December. Leave down in the comments below what your favorite release of 2023 has been, and thank you for watching.